Hi there, it's Digi the Cyber Kitty, and today we are back with another V-roid tutorial. I'm going to teach you how to use the hair tools. I figured out when I had the bones installed on the hair for this character, it made the hair go in the back and on the sides. Like the front bangs, were completely adjustable and normal. I'll be going over bones in my next tutorial video, but for now, we're going to show you how to do the hair. So we're in the hairstyle tab, and as you can see, V-roid itself has a bunch of different presets. My character, the hair I'm going to be doing for is a custom one, and I'll be showing you more about that. But if you just want to do like a base set hair, you could select one from the above, or you could select different parts from the little side panel over here where my mouse cursor is. So you've got the front bangs, the back of the hair, overall hair if like your character has like shorter hair, extensions like ponytails or braids or anything like that, buns, the sides, so you have the like little sides of the face hair, kind of like this right here, and then you've got the little cute little ahoy. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Please don't murder me for butchering that name. All right. Anyway, so you could go to each tab and select those. And if you wanted a different color for the hair, you could go to here, and just like with the skin color, you've got a color wheel. So you can make it any color and any shade. And then of course you've got the highlight color, which I generally tend to like. I like to stick to like the same color, but kind of make it like a slightly like grayish version of that color. You can see like the pink is a little bit more grayed out, so you get more of like a natural highlight. Either way, so if you do want to end up resetting your character's hairstyle, you can start with them bald, and what I like to do is start with the base hair of whatever I'm doing, which we're gonna make the black hair because that's gonna be her like root color, right? And then in order to make custom anything, each of these tabs has like a custom thing. So right here you can see that I had already built the bangs. Now the back of the hair is a little messed up, so I'm just going to leave that off for the purposes of telling you how to use the tools either way. Now, so I've already done the bangs, but let's go into the side hair and then hit create new. The system will ask you if you want to save the blank mesh, which it's not really necessary. It's a blank mesh, so because start editing without saving, at least to me. All right, and then you're gonna want to hit edit hairstyle, start editing without saving. Ooh, saucy sauce, it was giving me trouble. Anyway, so you got shift control and then use your right, I can't talk, shift control, and then you use the left clicker on your mouse to move your V-roid character up, down, left, and right. If you want to spin them around, you use right clicker button to do that as well. And since we're doing the purposes of side hair today, we'll start there. Now here in this bar, you could add a procedural hair guideline, which looks like this. It put it on top of my bangs. It'll start you with a set of hairs, just kind of very basic, and then you can end up selecting that group if it'll let me select the whole group as a whole, and then you can move it up, down, left, and right. You can rotate it, just as a base to start with, and if you don't like it, you can hit delete. Now in the freehand group that we started new, it's going to start you off with a basic shape of the mesh, but you can pretty much do anything you want. I'm going to deselect them, but don't let me. It's being saucy. I'm going to click the brush for a second real quick here, and click back to the selector tool to reset that. Or not. It's going to be a sass today. Okay, either way, so this is this, the green lines are the mesh for where your hair can go. As you see, some of it's like clipping into the head here, and all these little dots allow for individual adjustments. Obviously, you can see it slightly affects the other side, but if you want things to be even, you could click the mirror tool up in the corner here and kind of adjust where you want your point to be, which will tell you how far away from the head the hair is going to end up being. And so you could edit and design it in that way. If that makes sense. Do it this way as well. Kind of show you a bit more. And this way you could also very much so layer hair. Okay, now it wants to deselect. Okay, there we go. It probably made the mesh a little uneven from the center of the face because of the button. Alright, here we go. And then you can tilt upwards just by clicking right click, holding down the right clicker and dragging. You can tilt that way so you can get more angles as well without having to move your actual character. Anyway, so I think that's going to be good for the purposes of what I'm trying to do. I'll take mirror tool off. Get close to the head. Alright, and when you shape it, this will ultimately lead to the wave or shape of the hair as well, so keep that in mind. Now, the texture parameters and the shape of the hair and the color of the hair, like the materials for it, will all be over here. V-roid likes to just duplicate things all the time. I don't know why, but over here is where you could add custom materials, i.e. more than one type of hair color, if that's what you're looking to do for your character specifically. I don't like it being cluttered. It's just a hot mess that way. Anyway, so you go into the materials and it'll show you the main color and the highlight color. There's even things such as shader colors, but I don't generally tend to mess with that too much yet because I'm still learning a bit more about it myself as I go. As you can see, I have the two different colors for Sugar Plum here as well. I need to move her over so we can see what we're doing. Alright, so you got texture parameters. These are for like the hair. Like I will start with drawing the hair first. So down here will give you a selection of what kind of hair you could have. You could either have this straight flat hair or like the fluffy, which is like the more pointed hair. And then in order to draw hair individually, you could either do this with a drawing pad or with a mouse. It's a little bit more tedious with a mouse, but it's still very much doable. Alright, and as you can see, we've got the brush tool selected and the mirroring tool on, which if you're doing a symmetrical looking hairstyle, that's very useful. Or even if it's not so symmetrical, it's useful for kind of like covering the head a bit faster. So automatically what's checked is the width and thickness of the hair. But here's the straight hair, and that's what that looks like. And I will now show you the fluffy style hair. Once V-roid wants to load, it's being a bit slow today. And as you can see, that's a bit more of a different shape, right? Okay, now we can go in. If we want to individually adjust these hairs, we can click the control point button, which is very useful for creating custom hairstyles because it gives you full control of these little points and how the hair bends and how long it is or where it moves. So if you're not happy with the length of a hair or the shape of it, you can always go and change it. And if you really don't like something, you can end up going over to the side panel and deleting it. Now, I do different sections of hair and do like different groups for those. Sometimes if like the hairstyle that I'm doing has a lot of complexity, I will do more than one group. So I talked about the procedural hair group, but you could also add a free guide hair group as well, which will readjust the mesh sometimes, so you got to move that back and adjust the mesh as well. Because computer programs, you know, they all like to be wonky sometimes. And that's also a separate thing. So like, let's say this could be a good way to show you layering of the hair as well. Do that real quick. So we're gonna move just slightly over where our other hair was in order to do hair layering, right? And we are on a different like height level now. And I'm gonna select my purple hair material just to kind of show you the difference. And then back to the brush. And then we're gonna pick fluffy. And then you can do it that way. You could always click off your character in order to see that. And then you could always go back in and click on the overall hair brushes to readjust them as well. Like, let's say if you want it like closer to the head. Show that real quick. So that way it looks like more natural. You get what I mean. Or you can blend hair in together, make it anything you want, really. Also, since my character has a hair split, we could go in here and we could select the hair. If we don't want this to be purple, we can literally just select the other material. Now, if you want a custom hair texture material, the way to do that is you go into edit texture, and then you will have this texture thing behind me right now. I'm trying to move in such a way that will make it easier to see. And this is also color adjustable, and you have different brush types here, such as the regular one, the airbrush, the pencil, and kind of like a textured brush itself. So, hold on. Make it a bit bigger so you can actually see. So you see that it's got kind of like a more like hair texture itself. And then I'm gonna hit Control because I don't want that on my hair texture. And then you basically just click the little X to the top corner here whenever you're done editing it. But these, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. The changes the brush width, the opacity, and then you also have a layer opacity. I would highly suggest going always at least one layer above when adding like custom colors or custom designs. You could also take this into like Photoshop or GIMP, the free version of that, if you want to like go in there and mess with textures more and you don't want to do it within V-roid itself. So either way is fine, but it's completely doable. What else do we got here? So as well as having straight or fluffy hair, you also have the ability to change the thickness and the width of said hair. So let me show you what I mean by that. Draw a hair here, and then we're going to zoom in on it, and then we're going to click on the hair we want to edit with the selection tool when my brain wants to function today. And then the position X allows you to move the hair left and right, and then position Y allows you to move it up and down. And then you also have the ability to change the width. You can go beyond the parameters, like I said before in another video, if that makes it easier, or even into the negatives. So you could really get customizing with like different hair textures. And as you can kind of see, I'm turning it this way, see the difference when it does it. The hair thickness makes like the actual hair particle either look more 2D and flat or more 3D, depending on what you want as well. And now for this one. So we have twist intensity, twist placement, and smoothness. We got this hair selected. As you can see, it does makes it twisty, so you could do like curly hair. You can decide where you want the twist placement, decide how smooth you want it, and then if you thicken that up a bit, it definitely helps. It like intensify the twist, because I'm not as big of a fan of that rigid look. Okay, so yeah, you can see it better there. And then that looks really nice. Like my character's got curly hair. All right, but that's pretty much the basics of being able to use the hair. You could do quite a bit and get quite creative with this. So I hope it helps somebody. Thank you for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to people who may need the help. All right, bye-bye. See you next time.